Betty Nguyen is with us this morning, filling in for Jeff Glore at the news desk, and she's got a check of today's other headlines. Betty, good morning.
Good morning, guys, and good morning to you. Overseas markets showed signs of a recovery this morning as we cap a volatile week of trading. Stocks shot higher in early trading across, even though freshwater crawfish don't come from the sea. All right. Make sense of all that, will you? Here's Chris and Rebecca. Hey, let's not let the facts get in the way.
It was better than the other choice, which was crustacean salad. I don't think that was going to fare too well with the
Doesn't
customers.
sound as appetizing.
Have a little crustacean. Delish.
Totally not as good. I'm glad they went with their choice. Betty, thank you very much.
This morning, Marysol Castro is at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, where something amazing happened on Thursday.
Yeah, for the first time in nearly 6 weeks, it was not 100 degrees or hotter in the city of Dallas. So, Marysol, who turned on the air conditioning down south yesterday?
I wish I could say I turned on the air conditioning, but unfortunately it was Mother Nature. Just as we were about to reach midday, a storm cluster passed through the western part of Texas, and although it didn't bring rain to Dallas, the cloud cover actually brought the temperatures down to 84 degrees at one point. But as you mentioned, this city has suffered through 40 days of triple-digit heat, and when it's 100 out in the street, it could be 130 here on the tarmac. So yesterday, right about noon, these ground crews got much-needed relief.
We're just measuring surface temperatures here, and this is still fairly early part of the day. Probably in the next couple hours, you're going to see that really increase.
This is 123 degrees.
But folks here should not get used to the high 90 degrees. The triple digits return by Sunday and last another long stretch. Elsewhere in the nation, Thanks so much. That's your latest weather. Now back over to Chris and Rebecca. I'm almost tempted to break out a scarf today.
Don't you go getting crazy. Don't you go doing anything crazy down there. Good luck earning your stripes and your wings down there, Marysol. We'll see you in a couple of moments. Still ahead here this morning on the early show, the Doherty fugitives face the music in court.
And there is one bright spot right now. Mortgages are remarkably cheap, 9-month lows in mortgages right now. There are also ways to minimize the damage from all the bad news out there.
Personal finance expert Carmen Wong Ulrich is here, author of The Real Cost of Living, and she's got some timely advice for us this morning. Carmen, good to have you with us.
Good morning.
No shortage of topics each day that we've had you on this week.
Every day.
Let's talk about those mortgage rates, though, because like Rebecca said, we're talking about some all-time lows here. Refinancing, people that are looking to maybe unload the bad mortgage that they're currently saddled in right
Some
now.
folks are still sitting on the fence. Some folks just can't because, of course, to get the loan in the first place, you have to have great credit, you have to have solid income, and you have to have equity. And for a lot of folks, that doesn't work. But if you've been sitting on the sidelines here, this is a great time to lock it in because it's probably not going to get any lower, and things are so tumultuous it could get a lot higher. So let's look at an example of what would happen if, say, you had a $250,000. Your savings are going to be, if you have a smaller mortgage, it still makes a tremendous difference, a couple $100 every month in your pocket.
And it so saves the money, too, because a lot of people I know are discouraged when it comes to closing costs and all those things, but when you see savings like that.
Now, you can also, a lot of banks are offering rolling in the closing costs into the mortgage as well, and as long as you stay put in that house and really pay the mortgage on time, you're in great shape.
Yeah, and you could even do like a 15-year fixed rate and get an even better deal on that interest payment. Okay, so we know there's no one-size-fits-all model here for what people should be doing with their money in these volatile market times. What do you tell people to do who are 20 years away from retirement?
Oh, listen, you are in the bright spot. You are in a great spot, and I said this back in 2000. You're comfortable, and make sure that you know if we're going to be volatile for a couple of years. Can you withstand that? Are you comfortable with what's going on right now? If not, make a couple adjustments too, and also consider things other than your 401k, because for a lot of folks, their 401ks, they're not so good. You have maybe about 6 choices of funds, and some of those funds carry the same stocks within them. So look at a Roth IRA where you can put your money away, your post-tax money, tax-free, and grow it, and you have so many other options.
All right, let's talk about people that are 5 to 10 years away from retirement.
Okay, so now you're getting closer, and if you're in this position, we'll protect you in times like this.
Got it. And if you're right on the verge of retirement, real quickly.
You don't need all the money right now today, so you have time.
Great. All right, Carmen, thanks so much.
Thank you, Carmen.
Thanks, guys.
And now we turn to Betty Nguyen at the news desk with another check of the headlines. Hey, Betty.
Good morning, Rebecca and Chris, and good morning to you. 8 Republicans vying for their party's presidential nomination took the stage last night in Ames, Iowa. It was a live